a moment, but we are live at I-63. We're playing Process, the first map of 3 between froyotech and Se7en. And as this game gets going on Breck, we see that Se7en just leave.
Yeah, they didn't take any risk. Adiski tried to bomb really early onto Habib, and he tried to go on PC, but he got caught really early. So the team, Se7en, Cadus, decided not to waste any more health on that middle, and just they left really early. So the fact that Adiski died that early allowed Se7en to leave, I mean, unscattered based on Adiski. So now it's going to be up to Froyo to up their game.
Yeah, and Garbugilo's come in with a really high bomb. He's got cleaned up by Thalash and Tiger. They've done really good work to deny him. Banny's getting denied in sewer. Ams is actually doing a lot of pressure onto the players in sewer. Habib is there as a response, trying to deal with the players that are coming in, but we've actually got Adiski in rather deep. He gets cleaned up, but he actually takes Arik for his time. And Cadus actually going down is a really bad situation for Se7en. We've seen before Froyo love the player advantage, but the Uber advantage is actually with Se7en, and they're actually going to prove that that may be the better technique as they pick up Yomps. And Ams is really far forward. He gets picked up by Garbugilo, but he did make
He's on the backup.
Oh, is he?
Oh, he got it! Tiger tried to go for the one-on-one, but he got crushed on the ground by Banny. And that play from Banny, even though he died, he bought so much time for eating. That was really well played, actually.
Yeah,
I feel like Se7en rushed it a bit.
Yeah, Se7en rushed in, and now Garbugilo has actually started the push in. Habib's in a good position right now. Garbugilo gets picked up, but Arik goes and gets a D-ski, and Habib cleaning up Thalash means that Cadus and Starkey are going to follow because they haven't got that protection. And we're going to see a setup and a push on to last with a big Uber advantage for froyotech right now. They're not even going to use it. They're just going to use that player rad on Breck. And they're pushing in. Tiger's trying to deny Yomps right now, but he's got 4 players to deal with. A sticky from Habib picks him up. And they can just take a nice, slow, leisurely push in. They're going to use that Uber super late. They're in, but they lose Habib. This is actually not too great, but they pick up those players who are trying to come in. But Cadus is alive. He gets cleaned up by the 2 scouts. And that's going to be the first round going to froyotech.
And froyotech is so good as identifying the isolated target and just go for them and kill them in like 2 seconds. So this is what happens. Even though Starkey was alive, everyone that was out of the reach of the beam just died instantly because of the push of froyotech. And after 3 minutes, we're already 1-0 for Froyo.
Yeah, so not the greatest for Se7en, but really well played by froyotech. And as we get into this second mid, there's a lot of pressure, and Adiski actually goes down to Habib. There was a play by Ams. He cleans up Yomp. Using that, Arik is battling as Se7en are just looking to push forward. Tiger getting picked up. We got Banny and Garbulo pushing the side. Arik on top of the carts, actually trying to deal with some people here. And the crate pressure has actually gone in advantage for Se7en. They were on to Cookie Jake. Ams picks him up. Only Habib and Banny left. Habib having a bit of a battle, but Adiski comes back as a respawner, cleans him up, and Banny's the only one left. He's making a play onto whoever he can get. A lot of damage. Yob's actually coming in now with a big fast bomb. He's super low. He's going to go down. Oh, what an air shot. Picking up Cadus there. And that's going to kind of fiddle things out as we've got a really extended battle. And Banny and Garbuglo are holding it on their own. None of their team has come to join. They're only just here now. Cookie Jake and Arik have come through choke. Banny's getting really low, but Thalash tries to get the cleanup. Garbuglo going down, but Arik with the response on top of the crate picks him up. And Se7en just overstaying their welcome almost. The positioning is not in their favor. They've had to use their Uber. They're trying to force it out, trying to get Habib. Habib's super comfortable. Adiski getting picked up as well. Yomps going down, but Starkey beforehand. Ams getting picked up. This is just such a long extended fight. We're going to see Tiger, the only one left on that point on Brack, as that's going to be the mid finally over and done with.
It took 1 minute and 30 seconds to cap that middle, and I feel like that pop from Starkey was kind of questionable. I think he used because Adiski was really weak, but Adiski was out of the fight, so there was no use for Starkey to get the Uber going. And I think his team got surprised out of it. Cookie Jack was out of sight already as soon as Starkey used, so kind of a misplay here from the medic, and I feel like it's going to hurt Se7en a lot. They're building on top right. They're setting up a sentry gun, so now it's going to be up to Froyo to try to break that defense. But Cookie Jake is sitting on the 100% Uber, so it's going to be really hard for Se7en to take it unless Froyo takes much time.
Yeah, and it's going to be about froyotech right now as they're going to go in through 4. They've managed to deal with Thalash's sentry gun. They've picked up a D-ski as well, but the sticks are still on the point. They haven't managed to clean the sticks off. They managed to get Banny down. but Yom's going down as well. Arik, nice defense by Se7en. Really good bunching up. Only Habib and Cookie Jake left. Am's going for the chase, maybe looking for it. Habib actually going forward and taking a 1v1 with Cadus. So Tiger in there picking that up. That was really well played by Se7en on Brack.
And Cookie Jake being alive is kind of the saving grace for froyotech. They kind of failed that push. I feel like they only got Adiski early, and then Se7en kind of played around the right spawn door and chilled the hair for a bit, and Froyo didn't really find any opening here. So now it's going to be a Nuber ad for Starkey. They try to go for sewers, and they're getting really spammed out. It's going to be hard for them. Arik dies, and now that health is low on froyotech, Se7en could take this really easily.
Yeah, they could, and Flash and Tiger are actually pushing really aggressively forwards. They pick up Garbuglio. They've been working really well together, I've seen so far on Brack. Good work from both those scouts. A couple of indecisions here and there, but all in all, good work from both Se7en scouts. And they're going to push in. They're going to take Ams in forward. Cadus actually, bad positioning from him, gets bunched up with Flash. Going down, Am's down as well. The Uber is out from froyotech, and Starkey's managed to keep his. They're going to back out through choke, so they managed to keep that, but they lost 3 players on that on Brack.
That bomb from Yoms on choke was incredible. It got 2 frags, and then the Uber was used by Cookie Jake. Starkey managed somehow to find a way back to the second point, didn't use his Uber. So once again, it's going to be an Uber at this one for Se7en. It looks like Kidus is leading his team towards the choke.
Yeah, they're looking to push in, but Garbuglio straight in there with the stop. But Cadus taking that Uber forward. He goes on to Cookie Jake. Arak getting picked up by Tiger, and Se7en are pushing, barreling forwards. They managed to pick up Bani. They're not going to get anyone else as Adiski gets picked up by Habib. And we're going to have sort of that midpoint being taken. We're going to look at Se7en looking to push forwards, but they're not getting a huge amount of players on Brack. They're getting 1 or 2 picks, but they're not able to really capitalize on, you know, the positional advantages they are getting.
Because I feel Yoms went for the force, and somehow he managed to go behind the lines of Se7en, and he drew back 2 players. So nobody really commit onto Cookie Jake from Se7en when the Uber was used, and this is why he survived with the rest of his teammates. So again, the display from Yoms finally dies, but I think this was really help his team in this case. And but now Yoms dead, it doesn't really frighten froyotech. They're trying to go in there, but the Uber and Starkey is almost as his own. So it's going to be interesting to see what Froyo know about this, or do they want to push in anyway.
Actually, Tiger was in the background, and what he's actually done is he's caused a big distraction. Picking up Arik and distracting Garbuglio, getting low, meant that they could go in. But they managed to get an Uber out of Cookie Jake right now, and Starkey just picking up his. They're going to use that. They're going to try and pick up Garbuglio. They managed to do so. They're going to catch people in choke if they can. Cadus is super low, though. There's no soldiers really to help. So the main problem right now for Se7en is they don't have that choke presence.
Cadus bombs in! He pipes Cookie Jake! He pipes Cookie Jake again!
Oh my god!
What a bomb from Cadus! That's all Cadus here, if I'm not mistaken. What a bomb! He 2 pipes Cookie Jake, and he offers him a super big advantage if Starkey stays alive. But everybody crumbles now onto Se7en. Habib dies, but it should be enough for Froyo to push. Yo! On Starkey!
Starkey goes down. That's so unfortunate, but really, really well played there. Getting the frag from Cadus. Like you mentioned, old school Cadus. That bombing, that aggressive playstyle, that stuff he passed on to Ali. He's brought back. Let us see it. And now, sadly, they do lose Starkey, so things are going to fiddle out. Midpoint is captured by froyotech, but that was absolutely stunning. Look at that on stream. What a shot.
I mean, these are the best 2 teams to determine. So no questions asked, and this is why, because of these players of this caliber. Well, okay, let's go back to the action. Now that Yoms kills Starkey, Cookie Jake has the Uber, and it's going to be interesting to see what they want to do with it, because I've noticed so far both teams, every time the Uber is used against them, they always send a player behind the lines to kind of draw back the attention to them, and this is why no Uber has been really decisive when it's been used. There's been no wipe when the Uber has been used by any of the teams, so it's very interesting to see if Pro decided to push that if Se7en wants to go and send someone behind. But it looks like the build from Starkey was quite effective, as he's going to get his Ubers in time, and he ties with Cookie Jake in that situation. So now it's going to be, I think, kind of the first stalemate situation, and I'm wondering how Froyo will approach this.
I think Froyo are going to probably try and use Garbuglio and Yoms in a coordinated bomb. I think it would be a very good idea to try and bring someone through sewer, or a situation where you use one soldier to jump through and then actually leave straight away and just create a huge distraction for the actual soldier that's trying to deal the damage, or even doing that with a scout. But it looks like they're going to rotate into IT right now. They're looking to push forward. I think they may think they have a bigger Uber ad than they do. I don't know how they would think that, but that's the case. But they actually use that to let Garbuglio in. They managed to pick up Thalash and Adiski, so they've picked down 2 players for
Look
one.
at Arek. Look at Arek. He's behind.
Arek is currently behind, and he's looking to clean up some players here. Shot on
Jumps
to
again!
Cadus.
There, Sean Cadus. He's unstoppable. And Starkey used as well. It's going really bad now for Se7en. Tiger tries to go in. He gets a B. Really nice play here from Tiger, but Cookie Jake doesn't care. He may lose his demo. He's keeping his Uber, and this is looking really dire now for Se7en.
Yeah, and things are going to kind of stable out right now as we're going to see a huge advantage, but I don't know if they're going to take it until the Peeves in, but they've got a huge advantage for froyotech. They've got to play on to point. Thalash is getting up that sentry gun. We're probably going to see Tiger, not going on to the heavy, but going on to that sniper. So this is going to be a bit of a hero shot for him. They've got to really, really protect Cookie Jake because he's going up into lobby right now. If anyone calls that or they find out where he is, they may be able to get a decent shot, and they are looking for it. But everyone's setting up. They're getting ready to move in. We may see something out of 4. Banny wants to take it in, maybe. He's looking at options. They're going to take it in on actual 3. They're trying to deal with that sentry gun. They spotted it out. It's actually going to get picked up and swapped around as Flash goes in. The heavy is out on Adiski. They managed to clean up Banny. They're pushing a lot of the Froyo players out. Ams, nice damage from him into rollout, into 2. Banny goes in. Actually, that was a wreck. He got picked up by Cadus, and you know what? That was pretty consistent from Se7en there. Good control, good use of off classes there.
Yeah, one thing Fro loves to do is putting a lot of time pressure on the cap. And they do that really early, but I think Banny misread the situation. But as I said, Thalash and Tiger both get the soldiers, so it should be an open window now. Tiger gets spiked by Habib. He goes in, he has 8 HP, doesn't care, he gets the help from Ams, and this should be enough for Se7en to get the Spire. And with the Habib down, I think Se7en will try to wiggle their way into the middle. Cadus is already in, he's leading his way onto that choke point.
Yeah, they don't need to really deal with much spam. Lose it with the loss of Habib for froyotech, and they're looking to set up, maybe get some buffs onto Ams and to Adiski, get some sort of double bomb going in, create that space. Habib has only just come up. He's just joined his team, so he's not able to get those traps, but they're going to have to back up now as Garbuglio goes for the bomb. Adiski getting Cookie Jake.
Did he got the drop? I think Cookie Jake was 99 or maybe 100.
Yeah, very
so
close.
I wouldn't be surprised if he got the drop. And this is all to do with Cadus. He sticky sniped Cookie Jake to put him kind of low. So Adiski only had to shoot 2 rockets to get the medic. So nice sync play here from both Cadus and Adiski. And now Se7en is trying to take leverage on that. Cadus gets another frag onto Garbuglio, and now we're going to see how Froyo decides to do that. Do they want to stay in, or do they just want to set up on last?
I think they're going to stay in at the moment, use that aggression, but they've gone through IT Se7en. They're going to go through the lower area. They're bombed into Ams. Ams looking for an opportunity. They've started the cap. Arek is actually above. Tiger picking him up, just winning that 1v1 very convincingly. Yom's getting cleaned up by Thalash. This is good aggression from Se7en. They're going to look to go into lobby, and they want to go straight through into 4. They've got that space. They've got that time. They just need to deny. They've got the Uber out. Habib taking a lot of damage. He goes down. Cookie Jake goes down. Se7en onto the point. They just need to get the cap, and that's going to be the first round for Se7en.
Textbook
1-1. Very good from Se7en. Very good.
Push. This is what Fro should have done in the 2 occasions where they pushed the last with the Uber ad. They just... Cadus led the charge with the scout and just molested Froyo, like there's no other words. And now it's a 1-1, no score to run behind for Se7en, and Cadus is going super quickly to the middle point.
Yeah, Cadus doing his coined rollout. He's got a lot of time over Habib. Habib just picking up the pack now, so there's going to be up a little advantage for Se7en, not a huge one, but they pick up Arek, good crate control. They pick up Habib, but Diski and Ams go down, so this is all about the battle for the scouts right now, as Tiger and Thalash just need to work it, but they have got Cadus' support, so that's a really good player to have up. Yom's taking a lot of damage, but Garbuglio bombing over the top on crate. There's good crate control, but they just push him off. They get Yoms down as well, and that's going to be is that the first mid for Se7en? Yeah, that's the first
might
mid
as well
for
be, yeah, and really nice play here from the scouts. Even though they didn't have the high ground, they just their show was so good, they just denied Gabulio back to the ground, and they killed him without Gabulio being able to do anything. Arek dies as well, and Adiski gets the frag with the help of Hams. So now Se7en is just going to slowly take it slowly, if I may say so, and they get a frag on Gabulio again. Kedis looks like he has his sticky on point.
So we're going to see Banny trying to create something, create some space. Now Yomps is in a good position, but he's getting denied by Cadus. Nice pipes from him, and Thalash comes and cleans up Yomps. So right now we're going to see Se7en trying to use that Uber advantage, you know, something they really like to play off. They're going through IT right now. It's all about this entry, who they get, what they get is all down to kind of securing this. As Ams goes in, Garbuglio tries to create something, gets super low. They haven't even used that Uber. They pick up Garbuglio. They do lose Ams, which is not too great, but they've got that aggression, they've got that forward momentum, they've still got this Uber advantage, they've got 30%. We're going to see them come through 3 right now. They're going to use that Uber. They know where the sentry gun is. It's only a level 1, so it gets picked up super quick on Bracken. Now we're going to have the extended fight as Uber's going to come on Cookie Jake. This is just back out, get out of dodge. Don't deal with any of this. And the aggression, we got Banny on that Pyro. We saw that in the last series they came against each other. But
Uber has been used on Arek on 2 minutes. He's chasing Starkey. Starkey with only 70 HP, but the defense from Thalash is good enough, and Arek falls back. And it looks like that level 1 sentry that you mentioned actually completely denied the push from Kedus, because when Kedus tried to jump in, the sentry gun said, nope mate, you're not going anywhere, and that push was a complete failure for Se7en. The bomb is coming for Habib, and it looks like froyotech will assure the capture time until midpoint.
Yeah, and advantages currently with Se7en. They have lost Tiger and they've been pushed back into the second. This is a very to and fro match. As soon as someone gets an advantage, they try and make a play, get all the way coast to coast, but it's really, really hard for them to do so. Froyo are currently in a position to try and make that happen, but Starkey has just got his Uber. They're coming in through choke right now. Ams going in, gets instantly denied by the Froyo players. The Uber has gone. Cadus is in, he gets Garbuglio. He nearly got some damage onto Cookie Jake there. He's actually got some good health on him. He's able to control that crate, but he's lost Ams and Adiski. They don't have the spam. Cadus getting picked up by Yonks. Tiger winning the 1v1 with a wreck just means that they can back out, you know, get themselves set up, and we're going to wait for what pressure we're going to get out of froyotech as they look to get onto Starkey or just go over the point. Habib going in super aggressive.
Se7en is giving up, and that double bomb from Garbuglio and Yomps on choke to force the Uber out of Starkey is really a masterpiece.
Tiger behind.
It's a
he
masterpiece.
nearly picks up Garbuglio, gets picked up by him instead, and froyotech without really having to deal with one player. They've got that player advantage with the Uber advantage. They're wanting to go in on 3. They've used the Uber. The sentry gun isn't where they expected it, and they're having a bit of a struggle. It's actually denied the Uber really nicely, and now Se7en are looking to fight this out, pick up players. They lose Thalash, they lose Starkey, they lose Ams. froyotech just cleaning up players, focusing people down where they need to. Big bomb from Garbuglio, picking up Adiski and Cadus. And that's going to be 2-1 to froyotech.
Yeah, and even though you mentioned how Froyo didn't really expect the sentry position, as Habib didn't jump in, he just walked toward the gun, so he didn't really got denied. This is why that Uber was really better than the one Cadus tried to go with on the previous Se7en last push. So this, again, like that play from Habib made all the difference, and then Arek just snaked his way into the last and got stuck in spawn. So now it's 2-1 to Froyo, and things are getting tighter.
Speed from Cadus there. He got in so quick, and we're going to see a big bomb coming out of Ams, seeing if he can connect onto anyone. Yomps with a return gets cleaned up. Habib picking up Adiski, nice pipes from him, but Se7en got a lot of crate control right now, looking to clean up players. They cleaned up at Arek. Garbuglio super low gets cleaned up by Thalash. So all in all, good plays from Se7en. They pick up who they need to, and
nice reaction play here. I was hearing the word for Se7en when I saw Adiski kind of beefing 2 rockets onto Habib, 2 easy rockets that would have granted him a frag on the demo member. Finally, Se7en salvaged it. Ams picks up Yomp, and now Ubers are going to be the same. Players are trading. I feel like for Se7en now, the best way to retreat to mid and wait to pick up the players and get buffs and try to go again. So it's going to be another stalemate, and I feel like Se7en now, they're in the backseat. They're behind the scoreline, so they need to make something happen. 10 minutes is still a long way to go before the end of the maps, but Adiski doesn't care. It goes in, it gets denied, and I don't think a solo jump from Adiski like this was the proper solution. Previously, we saw Cadus sticky sniping Cookie Jake beforehand, so Adiski had easier rocket to connect into Adiski, but this time onto Cookie Jake. I mean, but this time Adiski kind of went solo, and I don't think that's a proper solution. Still no off classes, but as I say that, look at Adiski.
Adiski is on the spy. We'll maybe be able to see him get a couple of good positions and call things for his team, and hopefully get that stab. So spy plays are one of those things that takes quite a lot of setup. So you need to be able to first get your player behind the point, behind the enemy team. Secondly, you need to distract. You need to push onto the team. You need to force them to be reacting to you, not to your spy. If you're not able to do that, it's very difficult, but you have to be quick. Because right now, Froyo is probably saying, I can't see Adiski. Where is Adiski right now?
Yeah, these players, they're good enough to realize that someone is missing on the enemy team. But there's always that kind of foggy aura around the spies at LAN. There's always this myth how spies are kind of something different at LAN. I think everybody has in mind that kill streak, like 3 people killed by Starkey at Rewind in 2017. So there's always this. I think Spy has.
He's on close.
He
gets Cookie Jake! Hey, that's absolutely perfect. Gets Cookie Jake. Really good, patient work from Adiski there. Just knew when was the right moment. Didn't overextend. Didn't try and create something. Let it happen. And I feel like Se7en are going to have a good time trying to make something, but they have lost Flash. Kada's going down. Habib just using aggression, knowing where they're going to come from. Nice.
Oh, that Uber was dreadful. That Uber was dreadful. That red from that red from Habib was really good. But that Uber was terrible for Se7en. I mean, Adiski did a really good play here, dropping Cookie J without actually any kind of
help from his team.
Help from his team, exactly.
Yeah,
he kind of went on his own and did it, but I don't know what happened. Maybe Se7en rushed it a bit, knowing that Cookie Jake was still alive, and tried to push when the medic wasn't here. But
I think that was all down to Habib's ability to read what the enemy team were going to do. He thought, they're going to come through IT, I better set up some traps, deal with them there, because I can't see them going through choke. Just clean them up super quick, and I think that was the defining factor of that push. Is they had that speed to go forward. Adiski actually managing to get that backstab was really helpful, but the problem was Habib read them like a book and cleaned them up.
Nice play here from the Canadian demo man, but even though Stark, as bad as the Uber from Starkey was, Se7en still has the Uber ad, so it's going to be what will they want to do with it? They're still behind 7 minutes left on the scoreboard, so something's got to happen kind of quickly, or Se7en will have a really hard time to make it a tie.
Yeah, I think they need to let Tiger do some magic. I think
you want to see that. We haven't seen him that much from him until now, so maybe it's time for Tiger to show up and do his thing. I don't really know how to call it, so let's just call his thing. But it looks like Cadis is trying to do something. Maybe want to pull Habib out of the choke, so Ams has more room to jump onto Cookie Jake. Tiger is helping Cadis, and Ams is actually getting some buffs. He's trying to locate the position from the medic, and it looks like Ams want to do something. I don't know.
Well, they seem to. They've kind of let him go now, but they I don't see exactly where Talash is right now.
I see. Look at it. What can Talash do in the stalemate? You ask me. Well, he can play a
sniper,
certain class that one-shot people.
I wondered if he was going back, and that's exactly what he's done. He's gone back. He's gone on to that. He's picked up Garbuglo. Nice shot from him there. And that's 2 players down for froyotech. We're going to see Se7en push forwards. They've just had the respawners come in. Adiski's going to join his team and be ready to push forwards. They're creating a little bit of pressure right now, trying to secure another kill with player advantage. And they're not able to do so, but Thalash and Adiski are in a good position. Banny's calling straight away. He doesn't get the hero shot. He had such a good opportunity to get that shot onto Cookie Jake, but weren't able to. Banny was being a huge problem there, though. He saw him in IT and cleaned him up. If Adiski was a little bit quicker to join him, something would have happened.
I think Kedis is out of ammo. He just rushed with the paint train towards the ammo pack, and I feel like Talash on Sniper was kind of that double-edged sword, so he almost hit the hero shot, but beforehand, froyotech were 2 down, but because Se7en had a sniper and not a scout, they couldn't really push on that advantage. They had to use with that sniper, so I feel like if they didn't have these 2 picks, Talash being on Sniper would have been good, but I feel like the timing was kind of misopportune, and Talash being a sniper was more of an hindrance than anything else. And they now will expect it because Talash hasn't played sniper until that moment. He's back on the sniper rifle. He's looking at choke, and I'm pretty sure people like froyotech, they know perfectly how to play around the sniper. And we look at the position from Cookie Jake. He really knows how to deny all the angles.
Yeah, they're looking to create some angles in the sewer right now because that seems to be mainly where Cookie Jake is holding. So Talash is trying to get a really nice angle through that door.
The thing they could do is Talash aiming there and Tiger opening the door. Oh!
That's exactly what they would do! That's absolutely perfect. That's thinking outside of the box. Some classic
That's crazy.
Genius. That was so smart. And well done for predicting that, Ombright. Good.
Well,
good
I was
thinking.
1 second early. If I had said like 1 second late, I would have been late. But now, Se7en, they want to go in. They use that Uber. The bomb is coming in for Garboglio. Is trying to go for Starkey, but this time Starkey is not going to call. But Kid is actually getting called. And Talash is only he's on sniper. He gets a hand to Garboglio, but with Kid is down once again, it could be.
Oh, and Bam's getting an air shot onto
Nice.
Habib. Completely mulches him. Ends up getting killed by Cookie Jake, but.
And
That was
Talash
a
puts
meat
the little
grinder.
checkbox onto the chat.
Oh gosh.
Air shot accessed.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Really, really good bomb there. Picking him up. It's a shame that he got cleaned up by Cookie Jake. Good reaction from Cookie Jake to deal with that, but Habib getting cleaned up just gives a bit of pressure for Cadus. They're going to have to wait for Habib to come back. They're trying to create that. They're onto Yomps in sewer. They get him picked up. Tiger pushing forwards. Cadus actually just playing really aggressively. Habib only coming in now, but he's got everything loaded. But he's not able to do too much, and he's going to have to back out into last. We're going to see Se7en set up and get ready for a last push. 20% difference. Not something they want to push on aggressively. I think the 3 minutes, they need to, get Talash into a good angle. They're looking in one right now. He's on that sniper. He's going for the hero play. He misses it. He gets denied. He goes for a second shot, but Arik cleaning him up, just not giving him the opportunity to do so. And I think it's all down to Froyo just need to hold the line, park the bus, give Se7en a taste of their own medicine, and just relax.
Well, this is what a European team would do. Now this is froyotech, and everybody knows that how they like to be aggressive. So are they going to play differently? I don't really know. I actually, but Bunny sets up the sentry, and so I feel like they're in for a parking bus.
Yeah, they're in for the long haul.
Yeah, and it's probably the safer play.
Yeah.
They're 2-1 up. It's only 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So even though if they push out, there's not much that can be done with that. I see Talash back in scout, so it means Se7en wants to do something, and they want to do it quickly.
You really don't want to risk bringing this to a golden cap, because that's something that could go either way. But Adiski goes in, nice bomb. Tries to get something out of it. Nice positioning from Bunny, putting the dispenser where you usually expect the sentry gun to be. And I feel like Adiski kind of was expecting to get a 2-for-1 there, but only got
the force,
dispenser,
which is pretty good.
Yeah.
In the end, they got the force, so it's pretty good. But I'm sacked in as well to help Adiski. So in the end, all in all, this is not that bad. Look at Bunny sitting at another sentry gun in kind of unusual position, and now Starkey has a super big ad. Look at Adiski again with the Putis going to last. And
we're seeing a Putis last push. Yes. Come on, Adiski. He comes in. He's like, you've got a sentry. We've got a mobile sentry. They're trying to deny stuff. Big bomb from Yomps.
Yomps gets Starkey though.
Goes down. That's really unfortunate for Se7en. Cadus going to get cleaned up by Garbuglio. Tiger getting cleaned up. He's going to go down.
Tiger's alone.
This is really unfortunate for Se7en, but Adiski going to go in. He's going to try and shot. Hey!
Oh no! It doesn't get Garbuglio. That would have been funny.
Picks up Bunny as he tries to overextend, and they've got Starkey back up. I don't think.
Grumpy Coder clock is ticking.
1 minute left. This is all to play for Se7en, and all to hold for froyotech, and Se7en are already trying to get that pressure. No traps set up. I thought Habib would probably try and get a forward hold going, but They're going to just let the 7 players feed. Cadus getting picked up. They're not organized in any way. Sentry gun going down. Starkey going down. Uber being forced.
Oh no.
37 seconds left. This is garbage time right now. I think that was the nail in the coffin.
30 seconds. 2 spawns in 5 seconds for 7. I don't really know why Starkey died here. I feel like there was a sack play and Starkey was meant to be alive at the end of that, so they could push out right away. But now with Starkey being dead and no Uber into his hands, this is going to be really, really hard for 7. They have 15 seconds. Cadus is trying to poke his nose onto the roller, but I don't think he can do anything. He's getting contested by Yoms. 2 rockets onto the Cadus.
The Sentry Gun, the Pudis, there's so much defensive classes up. Adiski, Tiger, Cadus all going down. That's the 4th Starkey, and that's going to be the first Mac to froyotech.
Pretty good display.
Yeah, not one-sided. I'd say it's been scrappy in places, but I feel like 7 got some things they need to work on, and I feel like we saw a different side to Froyo. They weren't as aggressive as we've seen before. They slowed things down, and I don't know if it worked for them or it was actually more of a detriment, but I feel like in certain areas they worked really well and they knew when to bring that spark of speed. And I feel like 7 weren't able to deal with that, especially with the transfer into the 3rd round, where they got the lead over 7. I feel like that kind of speed they used and the breakdown and the coast to coast sort of play style really worked.
Kind of felt like controlled chaos.
Yeah,
like they dived in a lot. Like we saw Yoms and Garblio going as well, really deep or really often. Irek on the flank a lot, but it always felt like Cookie Jack was safe in the hands of Banny, and we never felt like, apart from that bomb from a Diski where Cadus helped him, I never felt like Cookie Jack was really in danger. So I feel like it was almost 4-man sacks to get the Uber out of Starkey, but never to the point where Cookie Jack is vulnerable. So it was really well played. And remember, before the game, we mentioned how being behind really early could really lead to disaster. In the end, it's 2-1. And remember that Furo scored a round after like 2 minutes. So that early round where 7 wasn't really in, maybe, really cost them the map. And
it probably shook them to the core.
It's really, really important. Again, I think in any game of TF2, getting the early lead is really important.
Okay. So alongside that, I feel like Cookie Jake needs to be commended for how he played, especially using his team to protect him, just for the fact that every time he died was to a god tier play. Something that had perfect. Like every time he seemed to die, it wasn't a scrappy fight or a misposition, which I felt like Starkey died for more of those than he did any god tier play. We had the really, really well organized kind of sync bomb from Cadus and Adiski, where you got that sticky and then you used the double sync to finish it off. You had the shutter opening
from Thago to Talash.
That was so. You got the Adiski backstab, which is very difficult to deal with in that sort of format because he was so patient. They didn't do the classic things you expected from forcing a backstab, and then he also died to a really aggressive bomb from Cadus.
That was incredible.
Yeah.
That play was incredible.
We've not seen him do for a while. Like we occasionally see it, but it's not something like back when we mentioned old Cadus is because he used to consistently do that. And there's loads of videos, and you can look him up where he will say, "Oh, I'm going to do this on a stream or something," and he goes and gets away with it. But we don't see that much out of him. But I feel like Starkey needs to kind of sit down with Talash and Tiger and talk about getting some more chariots set up, double scouts, letting Adiski and Ams kind of run off and using his scouts as a bit more of an anti-air cannon dealing with Yomps and Garbudo.
The thing is, the way Cookie Jack plays may seem kind of baity because sometimes he's really far back from his team. So maybe sometimes if he played more like Starkey, his team would win the fight because he would be healed to provide the heals. But most of the time, so from what we've seen on this map, it allowed Cookie Jack to live. So maybe on the second map, the fact that Cookie Jack plays the way he plays will actually hinder his team because he won't be here to provide the heals, and the fact that Starkey is actually in the midst of the battle, it helps his team more.
Next map is Gullywash, isn't it? I think, or Granary.
I think it's Gullywash.
It is Gullywash.
So we'll see what happens there, but the fact that the fact that Fro is so aggressive and Cookie Jack that died this little is kind of impressive. But I feel like it's really I'm curious about to see how it will go on the second map, because again, if you bait your there's this saying that goes around that Meds needs to bait their team if they want to stay alive. I feel like Cookie Jack applied this to the perfection on this map, but sometimes it can hurt back. There's kind of backlash sometimes. Not all the time. This is not a 100% truth, but it can happen. But on this map, this was perfect from him.
I feel like, especially playing Med, is just being able to get that sort of tanky teammates and being able to push through chokes is really important. And I feel like because of how Se7en was always on the back foot, like they were always clawing to get something back until the 1-1, but then very quickly Froyo took it back to a 2-1 to Se7en being in disadvantage. And I feel like Se7en were constantly trying to claw back. Time was ticking, and I feel like Starkey was getting pushed by that clock in the back of his head to go forwards. And I feel like Garbulo and Yomps just worked really well together just to kind of punish him for that. And we'll be going on to the next match, Gully. What do you think about Gully? How do you think this one will pan out?
I think it will lead to a really different playstyle because of the way the map is shaped. Because Process is kind of like there's one strict way to go from one point to the other, and then there's PC on mid and sewers. Gullywash is less straightforward, I'd say, because both big door and choke can be decent place to push from. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they want to defend this. And I feel like as a demo man, you're way more effective as to trap doors on Gullywash that you can be on Process. So I think that little one-on-one we have between Cadis and Habib will be even more important than Gullywash. But what I want to highlight is the way Garbulo and Yoms play. They kind of sometimes feel like mid-cannon, like they just want to go in, they dive in, and even if they don't survive the bomb, they don't care, because this is what they do. They just get the attention to themselves. Everybody's looking at them. Everybody's wasting their ammos on them. And then Irek, Bani, and Habib can go in without being way too much spam. So
I feel like they sacrifice themselves for the greater good.
But you can't do this as much on Gullywash if the team is holding forward, because you can't bomb from big door high in the sky, obviously, because there's a ceiling. And if the enemy team is holding choke, well, you can't really high bomb in, as in Process where the choke is really open and there's no ceiling and you can do the high bombs. So I think Garbulo and Yoms will have to adapt their playstyle. On mid, they can really be crushing. They can really kill everyone with good rockets, but I think that transition from mid to second point for both teams will be really important, and I think Se7en has a good way to deal with that, because they're really good on this map. So I don't. It's gonna be interesting to see how Yoms especially adapts, because as a pocket he dives in a lot.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, because they do like to play with what I like to call a loose pocket.
Yeah.
So someone who isn't really stuck together. Oh, have a look, everyone. We can see the crowd. Give us a wave. There's actual people here. Do it really awkwardly. Make me seem less. Yeah, there we go. Wonderful. Thank you. That was interesting. That was uncomfortable. But yeah, so we're waiting on a little break for both teams. You know what? I think they deserve a break. That was intense.
There was really little downtime. I think there was one or two stalemates, one leading to the backside from Udiski, but apart from that, there was really little downtime.
The other one was the Thalash Tiger setup.
Oh, exactly. So both times where there was stalemate, Cookie Jack dropped.
Yes.
Maybe this is why Fro don't like to play slow, because they know if they play slow, they're gonna get caught.
Yeah, I think the mentality with Froyo is, why would we wait for something to happen when we can make something happen?
Exactly. They want to be proactive. They don't want to defend.
Yeah, I guess with the European way of playing a very reactive play style, it's very different for the Americans to try and play that style, because they're very proactive. And I can see like Bani, maybe wanting to force things. I think that what they were trying to do is try and force things the other way around, try and see if they could make Se7en be as proactive as possible and get them off guard. But I feel like Bani just needs to play to his strengths if he wants his team to win Gullywash, because It's two different ways of playing it, two very different teams who are both very strong on this map.
Yeah.
And I think it's because it lends itself towards that demo. And Habib, like we mentioned before, is terrifying, and we've seen some amazing plays on him. And if he's in a position where he's protected and Adiski's not able to get behind, or Ams is not able to bomb on him, so he's protected by his scouts, I feel like it's going to be a very difficult time to deal with Habib, because he's going to just be dealing so much damage across point that Bunny will be able to react to that accordingly, and so will Arik.
One thing is interesting about Habib on mid is like most demo men, they use their stickies to deny the big door as much as they can, and then stay with the stickies. They kind of walk over the point to try to deny the enemy team. What Habib does is he launches 2 or 3 stickies towards the big door, and then he switches to pipes, and he spams that little the slope up elbow where the medic is supposedly going up from, and he doesn't use the pipe as direct pipe. He uses them as spam pipes, so the whole combo is getting damaged, and then his soldiers can jump in and finish the frags.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a different way to approach the middle as a demo man, but less sticky-centric, more pipe-wise. But
it's a very logical way. It's very, very, very smart.
Well, it's different.
Yeah, it's something that a lot of teams aren't going to expect, because they're not going to expect to. I feel whenever I play Gullywash, despite what that video with Plunk said, I can play this video game. But whenever I'm going up with my team up through that elbow, you feel a little bit safe. Unless you kind of that someone's called a bomber coming in, you do feel safe in there. So having, you're taking all of this splash damage coming through that window, and you're kind of like,
what's happening?
What's happening? Why am I taking this? And you're walking out with like anywhere below 100 HP. Your med's in a really bad spot.
And this is what Habib is really good at, putting your med at 70 HP, so one rocket from Yoms on Garble will kill your med. And this is, I think, it doesn't really care about denying the soldiers or the scouts. Habib, man on mid, is focused on damaging that demo and that medic, so Yoms and Garble have an easier time to deal with them.
Yeah, I feel like he has the confidence to understand that his team will be able to pick up the stragglers. So he deals with the main meat of the enemy force, gets them low, and then just kind of plays back, starts reloading stuff almost. So I've seen him do it, where he'll just get that damage, call it, he'll just back off, start getting everything reloaded, and wait for the second half of the fight, because he knows he's done his work. And even if he doesn't damage the medic, if he damages the scout, if he damages the soldier that's dragging him up, or the demo, he's taking away those overheals.
Yeah.
And I think that is so important. Like, a lot of people don't realize, but reducing a soldier to below overheals makes them so less effective in the long run.
Yeah.
Like, extended fights, they're going to struggle. If you manage to pick up their med shortly after destroying all of these overheals, your team, even if you lose your med as a response because they're sacking in, you still got those overheals to clean house.
Yeah, and we've seen an extended mid fight early on process with the one that lasted for like 1 minute and 30 seconds.
And a lot of that was down to the way froyotech played their heals and played their overheals. I feel like Bani was very good at controlling his.
So we've mentioned how Habib plays the middle, and is that planned ahead or not, I don't know, but it feels like the mid from Se7en is a perfect counter to that.
Yes.
Because Habib can do his pipe thing because it's not really contested by the other soldiers. But that, Se7en has that me where Ams and Adiski, both of them, dive really deep as early as they can to deny the demo man spam. So it's going to be interesting to see if Habib either has to deal with the soldier on his own because their team Furo isn't used to two soldiers bombing that demo, or if Habib's going to get help, and this is going to affect the bomb from Garbulio and Yoms, because if Garbulio and Yoms go in without the spam from Habib and without the support from Yoms, Arik and Bani, will they be as effective as they can be when they do their regular middle?
It might be a slaughterhouse for Tiger and Talash.
It could be. It could really be if Furo doesn't really adapt to that beforehand.
It matters about how much research that Bani and the rest of Froyo have done on Se7en and vice versa. Like if they know that Habib's going to play that and that's going to be his main focus, they're going to probably focus him down. And very much I really like to see the way that Adiski and Ams play their mids. It's almost it's almost as good as some of the things we've seen out of Captain and Drac in certain areas.
Almost only.
Almost. No one start grabbing your pitchforks. Almost as good. And I feel like as the seasons progress and as the lands progress, if they stay together, they could hit that same caliber of synergy, where we see them work wonders in multi-layered bombs, where they're working just timing everything to the point where I remember watching a game where I saw Drac come up from drop down, and the moment he stepped out and fired a rocket, Captain was there firing a rocket on the exact same spot at the start of the mid. And the demo could not deal with it. It was just not something you expect. You expect to deal with that soldier coming up, but you don't expect another soldier coming over the top, bombing onto the whole group of people. And it's absolutely wonderful to see. And I feel like Cadus is working to Adiski's and Am's strength. I don't think he's treating them like a new Captain and Drac.
No. He's clearly not. He knows that they are different players, and they can't replicate the same exact playstyle from Drac and Captain, especially Drac, who was such a unique roamer in the way he played, and Adiski is clearly different. You mentioned how you wondered if the team did their homework, if I may say so. I know Fro didn't really care about Banny streamed every day. Habib did demo reviews on his YouTube channel and stuff. But Se7en, they tried to be as low-key as they could. I know some people on the team wanted to stream, but they got kind of denied from within because Se7en didn't really want to give away their strats. They streamed a bit, and not, I know from a fact, not as much as some would have wanted. It's really hard to find any of their demos online as well.
Yeah.
Like, I tried myself. It's really hard because I don't know if they're using a private server or anything, but it's really hard to find their STV.
There's only one person that I know that could probably tell us if they could have got hold of any, and that's Dum-Tum. Because he's like, he's a hoarder. He's the STV god when it comes to games, and he'll tell us what's going on. But actually, looking at the server, we've got 6 and 6.
I think it's time to predictions.
Oh.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
I'm going to go with 7 on this one.
Whoa.
I want it to go to 3 maps.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. So I kind of feel obliged to say that Fro is going to take it, to keep it fair. And I think they could, because I think Habib is going to take the better hand of Cadus. But I may be wrong. I hope we see a third map. But what if we see a third map, but Habib still plays better than Cadus? Do I still win?
Yes.
Okay, then let's do that.
Yes. So good game from Habib.
But Froyo loses.
That's the dream.
That's my dream.
I don't see
Is
how
that
that's
possible though?
Happen.
Yeah, I don't.
Because Habib's such an impactful player for Froyo that as soon as they try and make something to happen, that's the guy that Froyo kind of look to for starting a lot of beef with other teams when it comes to damage, and I think if we see, like, for this mid, it's all going to be about how Adiski and Am start this off.
Yeah.
And how Froyo react. And I would not be surprised if we see a really fast and aggressive Froyo straight out of the bat that are just sending their soldiers over the top because they know that the 7th way to play is to send those soldiers in as deep as possible. But again, we've seen Starkey sometimes play that roamer role and Adiski play med, so we don't know what's gonna happen from here, because Starkey's played in this caliber, in this team for a long while. And I think we have a ready up from Froyo.
And it's interesting to see that Se7en hasn't, and maybe I'm wrong, but one thing Se7en is really good at is breaking the enemy team's momentum.
Yes. And
Froyo just won the map quite, not convincingly, but they won I think they were in the lead for most of the time on the process. And Cadus left the server. He's not here anymore, so Fro is ready, but they have to wait for Se7en. And Se7en is really good at breaking the momentum. And I wouldn't be surprised, like, maybe this not maliciously, but I think they're trying to do as good as they can to have as many edges on their side.
Yeah.
And breaking Fro's momentum is one of the things that can happen.
Yeah, so Cadus actually left the server, so...
Yeah. And he does that a lot online as well. So maybe this is it. One thing we didn't really mention on Gullywash. Gullywash is actually really a sniper-friendly map, and I also Se7en doesn't really do it, but they could really well run Talash as sniper to mid. They don't really do that, but if they can't really keep up with the aggression from froyotech, I feel like Se7en should try to do something like that. So maybe they will want to do it. And one thing again that I want to mention that we haven't talked about, there in the rules from this tournament, there is the tactical pause that could be used by any of the teams if things go south and they feel like they need to use it. And again, I feel like if Froyo kind of starts to roll, I wouldn't be surprised to see Se7en trying to slow things down with a pause.
We are live.
We are.
We are live. We are going to Gullywash at Insomnia63. Hosted by Essentials.tf. My name is Grumpy Coy. I have my co-caster Ombrak with me, and we are starting this off with Cadus really aggressive on the start. Ams and Adiski flying forward, but Yoms and Garbuglo doing the same. Actually, Tiger, Thalash, Adiski going down. Garbuglo ending up cratering as a response, but 2 versus 3 down. 3 versus 3 right now. We've got Bunny just pulling them out, dropping through drop down, and we're going to see maybe Cadus peeking, seeing if he can do anything. It's looking like a very confident mid. Am's getting picked up. Arak and Bunny just beaming through, and that's going to be the first mid going to froyotech.
It does feel good to be right sometimes. Both Adiski and Abs bomb Habib on the mid, and they got him right away. So we saw that coming, Grumpy Coy.
Yeah, we did.
Now Ubers are going to be even. This Gullywash could really get stalematey. froyotech has already tried to go in, but Cadus is really good at holding that big door on his own.
Arak is really far behind. He's actually like
Do
in
they know
last
about
right
it?
now.
Yeah, they do.
He's dealing with Adiski Ams from the looks of it. And Ams is super low, and Arak is still pretty healthy. So they've got a soldier that they're trying to, distract from Arak. And Ams is kind of a key player for Se7en, and not having him there, not having him present, isn't the greatest.
Garbuglio is in, gets one rock and stocky, but
yeah,
he can't really get the second one. Arak dies as well.
Oh, nice pipes from Cadus there.
Yeah, missed sync here, and that. They tried to go for a sync play again. I feel that was not as good as when it's jumping Garbuglio.
Really good rotation from froyotech to deny that Uber in. There was trying to go in.
Bunny lives.
They get Adiski though. How did Bunny get away with that?
I don't know.
That's ridiculous. But we're going to see some bombs. We're going to see a lot of pressure from Froyo right now. But Habib getting Cadus, getting Ams as well going down. But Yob's going down. Tiger, Thalash. Absolute meat grinder for Se7en. They're going to go down, and Se7en have already only got Adiski up. Froyo going forward, Adiski going down. Froyo just needs to stand on the point, and that's the first round of this map going to froyotech.
That's actually incredible how froyotech managed to turn this around, because they tried to go for the Foss and Starkey. They got 2 frags, both Garbuglio and Arak died. The Uber got traded, and somehow froyotech got a better trade out of it. So it's kind of weird to see maybe some players from Se7en were too isolated from the rest of their teammates. And as on process, froyotech takes really early leads.
Yeah, and Habib has just come in. He's trying to deny some players right now. As we're getting things set up, Adiski actually went in a good position underneath, but Arak's going to clean him up. Garbugio going down, Ams going down to Lash. Froyo cleaning a lot of players right now. That spam that was not denied from Habib, and he's actually done a lot of work. Bullied a lot of players out. Tiger's super low, going to back out. The chase is still on from froyotech. Se7en are going to have to back out all the way into their lobby.
And Habib played that mid so differently. He lunged really quickly.
Yeah.
He just hit in his elbow, so he wouldn't get chopped by the soldiers. And now it looks like Froyo wants to go in, but clever stickies from Habib. Cadus dies as well. Cookie Jakes!
They get Cookie Jake.
He drops from the Adiski, and everybody dies for that. So not only Stalash and Starkey, and I can tell you, Bunny's right now is calling, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Yeah, they've got the player advantage. They don't need the Uber. They don't even need the heals. They're just going to go straight onto point. Talash is going in for the denial. Yoms actually started it. They've managed to get that denial. No one's in water, so they haven't got anyone to deal with in that regard. They're going to push forwards. They just need to count their men now as Banny goes into that lower position. Tiger meets him, does the 1v1. Banny's going to get cleaned up by Cadus. Tiger going forwards. We've got a big bomb coming out of Ams. Just gets onto Garbuglo. Goes for the air shot. They collide in the middle. They end up going down.
Oh,
One for one.
Arek's on the ball. He knows Cadus is a target here. Target acquired. Arek is in his strength, going straight for the point. He forces the team to go back. The bombs in for Yoms as well. Starkey dies, Cadus dies. A water play here, 3v2. And froyotech, they didn't wait for anyone to come in. Arek just knew, he felt it. He had the flair. He just wanted to go for Cadus.
And that is absolutely wonderful. 2-0 to froyotech. Really, really unfortunate for our boys in blue though, Se7en. I believe in them. They can do it. I thought they, come on, you got to do it, boys. But Habib really reactive, dealing a lot of damage to those players who are, again, doing that spam. But Arek ends up going down. Ams, as a response, Yobs down. 7 players barreling across point. Garbugo getting cleaned up. Cookie Jake down as well. That's going to be the first mid.
Oh, is
no.
it? Let's
Habib
not talk
too
quickly.
Oh,
Habib, he bumps in.
Oh, he gets cleaned up in the end by Thalash. And I'm going to say it now. Can I say it now? That is a mid for Se7en, the first one of the game.
That is indeed. And it's interesting. I'm saying that he kind of gave up on Habib on this mid. They tried to go for something different. They tried to play more on the soldiers and the scout. They got Kukujik super early. And the fact that Habib kind of hit himself didn't really do anything because he couldn't spam as well as he would have, and he didn't really prevented him from dying. So kind of nice variation here from Adiski and Ams. And now with Kukujik died dead on middle, it's going to be a sizable Uber ad for Se7en if they decide to take it.
Arek's in a position to go on to... Oh, no, he doesn't end up doing it. He ends up going down. And luckily, Starkey Ubered at the right time. They've gone in their baiting point right now. Adiski creating a lot of space. Big bomb in from Ams. He gets Cookie Jake. Habib in a good position. They're going to pick up Yumps as well. They've got that pressure. They pick up Habib.
Only
they just need to put those people on the point. And that is the first round on the board for Se7en, the fan favorite. 2-1. Come on. We've got 23 minutes left, ladies and gentlemen. We don't have to worry too much. We're going to have a close game.
That mid was everything for Se7en.
Yeah.
They got a kill on Cookie Jake, and even though the fact that Arek didn't drop Saki was kind of lucky, that mid was so important for Se7en. And they need to replicate this kind of performance on middle if they want to have a shot at this map. Yeah,
and they're starting off this mid. Nice aggression from Habib. Tiger going down though.
That's all.
Thalash in a bad position.
Garbugo!
Oh no, Starkey gets picked up by Garbugo. He's going to pick up. That's a wipe for Se7en. Really well played by froyotech. They managed to, just clean up the players where they needed to, but so much pressure. They discorded all of them on that lower area near Big Door, and that was, I think, was the most important thing for that mid fight, Albrecht.
Yeah,